Have you ever spent hours studying for an important exam, only to find the information has vanished from your mind the next day? Or perhaps you have struggled to recall a simple name or fact that felt so clear just yesterday. The culprit might not be a failure of effort or intellect, but a failure to rest. Sleep is not a passive state of inactivity, a mere waste of precious time in our busy lives. Instead, it is a profoundly active and essential biological process. It serves as our brain's most diligent librarian, working tirelessly through the night to sort, file, and secure the vast library of experiences we accumulate each day. Without this nightly maintenance, our mental shelves become cluttered and disorganized, making learning inefficient and forgetting all too common. We have been conditioned by modern society to view sleep as a luxury, an optional activity to be trimmed when deadlines loom. This is a deeply flawed and dangerous misconception. Sleep is a fundamental biological necessity, as critical for our mental and physical health as oxygen, food, and water. It is during sleep that some of the most sophisticated work of learning takes place. The brain does not simply shut down, it enters a different operational state, one specifically designed for memory consolidation. It diligently replays the events of the day, strengthening important connections, and pruning away the trivial. Understanding this process is the first step toward harnessing the incredible power of a full night's rest for better learning, sharper recall, and a healthier mind. Think of your brain as a magnificent, sprawling library filled with books of knowledge and experience. Each day, new books arrive at the front desk. If the librarian simply leaves them in a pile, the desk quickly becomes overwhelmed, and finding any specific book becomes a chaotic and frustrating task. This is what happens to your brain when it is deprived of sleep. The new information, the facts, skills, and emotional events of your day remains in a fragile, temporary, holding area. Sleep is the master librarian who arrives after closing time, cataloging each new book and placing it on the correct shelf for true remembering. Our nightly journey into sleep is not a simple, monolithic state of unconsciousness. It is a highly structured and complex voyage through different stages, each with a unique architecture and a specific set of functions. Think of it not as flipping a single switch off, but as navigating through a series of distinct rooms in the mansion of your mind. Non-rapid eye movement, NREM, sleep. Rapid eye movement, REM, sleep. Throughout the night, your brain cycles through these stages multiple times, typically in 90-minute loops. Each cycle is crucial, and each stage plays a non-negotiable role in restoring body and mind, particularly when it comes to memory. The first part of the cycle is dominated by NREM sleep, broken into phases. The deepest and most restorative is deep sleep, or slow-wave sleep. Brainwaves become long, slow, and highly synchronized, while the body relaxes, heart rate slows, and breathing becomes deep and regular. This is the state of physical restoration, where tissues are repaired and growth hormones are released. But deep sleep is also a powerhouse for memory. It focuses on consolidating declarative memories, the facts, figures, and events you consciously learned during the day, such as a country's capital or details of a conversation. Following deep sleep, your brain transitions into a dramatically different state, REM sleep. This stage is a paradox of physiology. Your body is essentially paralyzed, yet your brain becomes wildly active. Your eyes dart beneath closed lids. Brain patterns resemble an alert, waking brain. This is when your most vivid, narrative-driven dreams occur. REM sleep plays a critical role in processing procedural memories and emotional memories, refining motor skills and softening sharp emotional edges. The relationship between these stages is collaborative, not competitive. Deep sleep acts like a diligent file clerk. REM acts like a creative integrator, linking new memories to your back catalog for insight and problem solving. Miss either stage, and you leave the job incomplete, like saving a document without formatting or linking it to relevant files. To appreciate how sleep works its magic, we must understand the three pillars of memory: encoding, learning; consolidation, saving; retrieval, remembering. Each pillar must be strong for lasting memory. While we are awake for the first and last steps, the crucial middle step of consolidation depends profoundly on sleep. Failure at any stage means the memory is weak or inaccessible, leading to forgetting. Encoding is learning, taking in new information and converting it into brain-friendly code. Whether reading a fact, listening to a lecture, or watching a skill, attention and focus determine quality. If you are distracted, tired, or overwhelmed, the trace is weak. Consolidation transforms a fragile note into a locked file. This is where sleep takes center stage. During deep NREM, the brain replays patterns tied to what you learned, carving the memory into lasting storage. Section 4. The Midnight Transfer. Moving memories to permanent storage involves a partnership between the hippocampus and the cortex. Think of them like RAM and your hard drive. The hippocampus acts as a short-term inbox. Fantastic for rapid learning but limited and vulnerable. The cortex is the main hub of long-term knowledge, the brain's permanent hard drive. The goal is to move important information from limited-capacity hippocampus to the vast, secure cortex, making it permanent. During deep slow-wave sleep, a neurological dialogue begins. The hippocampus replays the day's memories, like a movie on fast-forward, sending signals to the cortex, which listens and integrates them into existing networks, strengthening cortical pathways and etching memory into long-term storage. By morning, the memory is no longer dependent on the hippocampus. It has a permanent home in the cortex, more resistant to forgetting. The transfer also clears the slate, refreshing hippocampal storage so you wake ready to learn anew. Section 5. The Consequences of a Sleepless Night. When memory fails. The negative impact of sleep deprivation on memory is immediate, measurable, and profound. Without enough sleep, you sabotage all three pillars: learning, saving, and recalling. Even one bad night hurts. Accumulated debt leads to chronic cognitive impairment many accept as normal. Sleep deprivation cripples the hippocampus, which needs nightly clearing to make room for new learning. Imaging shows reduced hippocampal activity during learning after a sleepless night. In a landmark study, one night without sleep caused a 40% deficit in forming new memories. For every 10 facts, 4 may never register. Lack of sleep blocks consolidation. Cramming at 3 a.m. feels productive, but without sleep, it won't be there on the test. Retrieval also falters. Thinking slows, and associations become sluggish. Everyday choices suffer. A sleepless night is a direct assault on your memory. Section 6. The Science of Slumber. Concrete proof of sleep's power. A simple split-panel comic. Study, sleep, A+. On the right, studies, stays up playing games, gets C. The link between sleep and memory isn't a myth. It's supported by decades of rigorous research. Across thousands of studies, sleep is non-negotiable for learning. Experiments are simple yet profound. They show that making time for sleep is among the best study habits. Sleep after learning consolidates memory. Sleep before learning prepares the brain to learn. In nap paradigms, those who sleep, nap, or full night recall 20 to 40% more than those who stay awake. Deep NREM locks in factual knowledge. REM boosts procedural skill and creative insight. More deep NREM predicts better vocabulary retention. REM-rich nights aid musicians, athletes, and surgical trainees. Even 60-90-minute naps can include deep NREM and REM, boosting retention. Section 7. Reclaiming your rest. Simple steps for a sharper mind. Understanding the connection between sleep and memory is the first step. Now, take practical action. You don't need expensive gadgets. Improve sleep hygiene with small, consistent changes. Make rest a lifestyle to give your brain nightly maintenance. Most important tip: regularity. Your brain thrives on routine. Keep the same schedule, even on weekends. This anchors your circadian rhythm. Melatonin helps you feel sleepy. Cortisol helps you wake. Create a sleep sanctuary. Keep the bedroom for rest, not work or entertainment. Control light with blackout curtains or an eye mask. Keep it cool, around 18.3 degrees Celsius or 65-degree verse. Keep it quiet. Earplugs or a white noise machine can help. Be mindful before bed. Avoid stimulants like caffeine and nicotine. Avoid alcohol, which fragments sleep and suppresses REM. Build a relaxing routine. Dim lights, put away screens an hour before bed, read a physical book, listen to soft music or take a warm bath. These habits tell your brain to power down and begin memory consolidation.